What up, it's your boy Stefan with the Master of Me podcast. Master of Me? Hey, my man. What do you mean master? How do you become master of anything? You tell me. You focus all of your energy on one thing. One thing, man. All of your energy on one thing. Man, oh, man. Speaking of one thing, I got one thing to talk about today. I'm here with Jon Haas, man. Such a history between this man and I, and I'm telling you right now that I make a promise and I fulfill it every single time, and it's to only speak when my words bring value. Today, I have brought Jon Haas because, speaking of that history, we have done this podcast life together, and the stuff that we were able to achieve in that, the value that comes from it, the people that get impacted, the things we learn in the process. Sometimes this whole dance is not even about sharing it with other people. It's about what we get to learn about ourselves through the people that we have on the podcast and what we learn talking back and forth to each other. That's where the nuggets. Jon just mentioned something about something that was said 4 years ago that still stuck with him. Like, it's the same back and forth. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to share this man with you today. Jon, tell him what's up, man.
What's going on, guys?
Damn, that's Haas. That's actually his famous tone, the way that he leads in on every single conversation, man. That is it.
It's true, dude.
That is it. What's been going on? What's been going on? Man.
So, I mean, we've known each other for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be a lender. Now I'm not.
Right.
So I made the switch back in April Fool's Day of 2023. So I went full-time from lending to real estate. Started a team called VTRN over at Keller Williams, and then also started a company called Honest Offer, where we buy houses cash here in Tucson. So
good. So you got VTRN, which is within the real estate community, like within licensed real estate community.
Correct.
Then you have Honest Offer that falls within the wholesaling bracket.
We like to call it a signing.
Signing?
A signing.
A signing.
A
yeah.
signing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes. So like Honest Offer is our company where we buy. That's the investment piece, right?
Right.
So we buying houses cash,
Right.
assigning them, flipping them, holding them. That's all that piece. And then VTRN is just the residential, the traditional buy and sell.
And real estate on the license side of it, that's something you did before even lending, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
See, I got licensed in 2015, and I thought that if I made one Facebook post, threw it out there on Instagram, that leads would come in.
Yeah.
I was gonna be balling, right? I made my one post and crickets, dude.
Damn.
Nothing happened. So then I became a lender.
Oh my word, yeah. And that man, those are just both two long roads, right? That take time on task to really build in anything.
Yep.
How are you liking real estate so far?
Greatest decision I made for me.
I bet.
Lending was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. Like again, we've had our time working together, and for that season in life, it was good.
Right.
This is just a better season.
I think that's a good chapter to even know that, like, every season it's just a season.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the best. You max it out as much as you can, and then be okay with moving on to what's next in life. Like, I think that if you were going to teach your kids anything, like, that would be like, you don't have to be stuck, set in stone.
Yep.
It's emphasis on the word stuck. Like, you don't have to be stuck anywhere. Just because you started something doesn't mean that you have to do that for the rest of your life. Man, I was just talking to this client that came in right now, and she said that she worked for Kmart for $2.60 an hour. Like, started off with that, and we went through her retirement, and for what it's worth, like, I mean, she probably learned a lot and did a lot within that, but that sometimes, like, who knows? Like, she's fine now, but at the end of the day, if you're a person who pushes towards growth and there's opportunity to grow, then seize the moment.
Yep.
Seize the moment.
I'll tell you, like, it goes into the kid category, right? Like, when we were doing lending, everything was good. And then I remember I had a business partner, and we have kids that are around the same age. And he was like, man, I can't wait to pass this to our kids, because that was the thought process, right? And immediately I was like, I would never let my son become a lender.
Right.
I knew right then. Like, there was a couple things that happened, right? But like right then was like that seed that planted, like, damn, am I going to teach my son to just go through life and get a job because it makes good money, but I could tell I didn't like it? Or am I going to teach him to, like, shift? and do something you like and really try to find something that you're made for.
I think that's why we'll sacrifice, just like our parents did for us. Like
Right.
we'll sacrifice that to what we see in the industry or through our journey, so that way our kids don't have to see it that way. I think that's important. That at the same time, I had the same vision when I looked at it for my daughters, and I was like, damn, like I could never bring my daughters around this industry or have them like cut loose in the world and being led by these people. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean that by my heart. So I'll work my ass off so that way they can have a different path.
Yep.
And fulfill, whether it's art, going to school for, gymnastics, wrestling, like the shit that they like, all the way in. Like go after it, push it as far as you can, and then we'll go from there. Like I've learned that I get to be their coach for the rest of their life, and I get to stay on their ass. And coaching is part of not just letting them go figure it out, because then I'm not coaching them anymore. Like I think parents get fucked up where they say, "Oh, he'll figure it out," but like maybe not. Like it's my responsibility. I look at like Deion Sanders and his kid, and like they're like, "You think your dad's too much?" He's like, "No, that dude's been through it. Like if anything, it's his job till he dies. Like just pour into me." I say that as like, even my dad's not around, but I still feel like that dude's like guiding in certain things.
He's
like
on your
whatever
back.
The stuff that he did, what not to do, the stuff that he did that worked. Like I know where I need to be courageous. I know where I know what not to do. And those two, like there's no better blessing. Like I just feel like my feet are so firm in the ground, planted and solid because of that. So the fact that we get to do this,
dude, every day, it's the best. I mean, for me, it's the best thing we get to do every day is, I get to be a father, right? Like I had the, my stepson and Liam, and it's like, it's cool. Like, Ian's 22 now, dude.
Right.
Met him when he was
That's pretty
12,
crazy,
10
bro.
years late. Yeah. 10 years, now he's trying to figure out how to be a young adult, right? We're helping him. He's helping him through his struggles. And then we have, Liam, who's just turned 6. So he's into the sports and he wants to just play, and imagination runs wild. Right. But it goes back to that, our parents led us in the way that they knew how to, right? And now we're just leading in the way that we know how to.
Right.
And one thing that a lot of people always ask me is like, how do I stay so diligent? How do I just grind all the time? And it used to be like when and I met you prior to having kids, right? Like you knew me before I had my son.
Right.
And in 2019, when he was born, was the first time I hit 6 figures. He was born in January.
Right.
We were 1099, or we were in lending, right? So like I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Right.
I just went to work. Like I saw his eyes. He was the meaning of love to me.
Right.
When he was born, I love my wife to death. That dude's the meaning of love, right? Like just how it is. And I saw him, and that was my why for that season, right? Then I figured out a couple of years later, like I'm gonna make it happen for him.
Right.
I'm gonna pay our bills. I'm gonna make sure we're fine, whatever, right? And then I turned it into options.
Right.
I want the option to not work when that dude goes D1.
Right.
Right? Because it's ingrained. I say 3 things to my son every day. So he's 6 years old. So 1,800 times he's heard this. I love you. I'm your best friend. And you're going to play Division I sports. Right? So it's ingrained, right? He's going to know those 3 things. So as he gets older, when he has those days where he tells me, like, I take his phone away or I take some away, and he goes, "You don't love me." I look at him, I go, "What do I tell you every day?" "You love me." "Exactly. So I'm taking this phone because you just yelled at your mom. And I love you." "Okay," right? And then hopefully when he's like 14, 15, you know how we acted? We were different to our parents, right? I'm hoping that I'm ingraining that best friend nugget in there so I can look at him and go, you're treating me different now, but you're still my best friend.
Right.
And then when he's 18, it's like, we worked this hard because you're going to go play Division I sports. Dude, I don't care if he plays Division I chess. I don't care what
Dude, chess is badass.
Yeah, I don't care what sport it is. Like, of course, I want him to be. I mean, the dream would be he plays for the Yankees. That I would, dude. I would. Best day of my life. That dude gets drafted to the Yankees. But whatever he wants to do, and he may not be Division I, right? It doesn't matter. I'm ingraining those 3 things, and then it keeps me focused where I got 13 more years. And then options are going to start happening, because if I'm telling you, if that dude gets a scholarship or he wants to go play in Colorado, New York, Wyoming, Nebraska, wherever his school is, dude, I'm moving. I'm going to watch my son play whatever sport he plays, dude, even if he's a bench warmer, dude, because if I can watch him play 2 minutes, dude, like phenomenal.
Yep. No, that's exciting, dude. That's super exciting. I'm right now on this, like, Presley's 9.
Yeah.
And
Watching her grow,
she's
dude.
got 9 more years before she loves art. Like, she has a passion. She's super creative. Like, she can build things. She can draw like a mug, like freehand with like real art. And she also wrestles, and like it helps her balance the both things, I think. Like, I think they're both necessary. Like, you got to have a sport, but she does well in wrestling. Of course I want her to wrestle. Like, I just
you did.
envision it. I see it. I did. Like, she could surpass me. Like, granted, she already is, because she started younger than me, so she's already winning in life. But at the same time, like, I stay active coaching in wrestling just in case she decides to wrestle. I don't want to miss the boat. Like, I want to be already an established coach that I'm fucking coaching at the school that she goes to. So if she's leaving town, we're going to have a weird conversation at home because there's more kids involved. Like, there's more stuff. So
Yep.
at the same time, like, I want to be a part of that journey just because I get to. Like, it's an opportunity for me to do that. If I get stuck, that's the fear. Like, this is where my why starts to come in. Is like, I see how my parents struggled financially. Like, they miss out on opportunities for that.
Yep.
At the same time, when that time comes, that means I got 9 years to figure my shit out. So that way, if I want to, I may not want to, but if I want to, I'm rolling.
It's an option.
It is an option, and it's freedom, and that means that the sacrificing right now can lead to that freedom, and that's discipline, like all the hard stuff. So when people ask you the questions, like you said, like how do you do that? Like, it's the discipline to get all that stuff done for this. Like,
It just makes it easier. I mean, when you have something that I'm looking 13 years out, I'm 13 years in the future.
Right.
So when people, ask us like last year our team did 116 transactions,
That's
right?
exciting, dude.
Yeah, it was, dude, completely fun. Loved it. The team's doing their thing. And, this year we're doing 250, right? It's the goal. Last year the goal was 100. We did 116. So this year the goal is 250. So we're going to try and like a little more than 2x our business, right? So 2.5 times our business.
Right.
And, January last year, so 2023, we did, in January, February, we did 5 transactions. So it took us a minute to get sped up, right?
Yeah.
By the time we close February, we'll have 30.
Damn.
So we're already 25 deals ahead, but we're not at the pace of 250 yet.
Right.
So like when people see me and they're like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good, but I need more.
Right.
And more and more. And it's not monetary.
Right.
I have a goal of 250.
Right.
Because in 13 years from now, I want to be done.
Right. Dude, you mentioned something in the back, like this falls in the category of family, you said. And when we were talking about Liam earlier. So with that, like circling back to, I do something now. It's a little bit more elaborated on what we talked about when we were having walks on the Pantana Wash right there. And so using this concept, the F-bombs with faith, family, fitness, and finance, now I've added future, which I set goals around.
That's tight.
Wrestling because I'm giving back. Plus, that means I'm believing that I'm growing that community. And then fun, because I'm so goal-driven that I forget to have fun in the process.
I think those are, so first, those are dope. Those
so
are
there's
dope.
6 now
Those are
instead
dope.
of 4, and
Those
they're
are dope.
called the 6 F's to success.
Yeah.
Remember how we always had a tagline?
Yeah, I know.
Like, now it's a 6 F to success.
Those are dope. I think adding those 2 are dope. And to touch on the fun piece real quick, I just made a post, and then I people think I don't talk to my wife or something. I post about her.
Right.
So I'll tell you 2 things. One, so I made a post yesterday, and it hits on the fun piece.
Right.
She's the fun piece. Dude, if it's up to me, work, go home, work, go home, work, go home, right? But she's the one who plans all the trips and does it. And then, I thanked her the other day for doing that.
Right.
Because like when I look back on it, if it was up to me,
You wouldn't.
it would be a bunch of work.
Right.
Like I would forget to have fun, right?
Then you'd be a bitter old man.
Because I love, right.
Right.
I think so. I don't know because she has us have fun, but I'd probably be bitter.
Right.
But she plans all these trips and we go to these cool places, dude. And I thanked her so much for it because if it was just up to me, dude, it'd be, I think we would forget to live life while making a life, right? So I thanked her for that. And then that future piece, I've been watching you coach these kids, right? It's like I coach T-ball and coach pitch, and I'm going to coach soccer.
Right.
And I was thinking about the other day because like guys like you and me, we're around these kids, dude. Like 2 of the kids that were in the coach pitch baseball team are in my son's class, right? And they're like, "Hey, Coach John," and I'm like, "Dude, I'm becoming impactful."
Damn.
Like, and then I saw it with the wrestling, right? Like, dude, those kids are going to remember you forever. Those things you talk about, dude, forever
It's a trip.
is going to be Coach Steph, or if you go by your last name, right? Like,
Right.
but it'll be like you were like, we played sports our whole
Right.
lives. And I remember my coach, like my favorite soccer coach was my dad, right? And then after my dad was my high school coach, Coach Egg.
Right.
I remember that dude. There are things that dude has said to me when I was 14, 15, 16, and 17 that still live in my brain, right? With like sports and the mentality, whatever. And then Coach Honey, which was our strength and conditioning coach. And I only got to be in strength and conditioning. I was a small little kid in high school, dude.
No way. I can't believe it, dude.
Yeah.
You're solid. Dude.
Yeah, small
It's
little
been
kid in high
solid,
school. Yeah. So, but I had him the last 2 years, right? And it's just things he would say to us, and like those things that live in forever, right? And he has no idea that like these things live. So like I remember those things, and that's how I act now with them, right? Like, because these are going to be young men, young women, not children, not a boy, not a girl, young men and women.
Damn.
So yeah. So I want to say, I think it's dope about the wrestling thing, dude. It's
well,
good.
thank you, dude. I will receive that. I will take that in. And dude, it doesn't just happen with the kids. Like, I have a real estate agent who she does classes too, but like on the jiu-jitsu side.
Sick.
And her daughter's in my wrestling class, and so she sends over a contract the other day, and she says, "Hey, coach, we got our offer accepted." But like to hear her calling me coach is like, damn,
that's
like
her kid.
I'm still impacting like
Yep.
on her because I'm guiding the kid. Plus, like, dude, like sometimes I say things to the kids like it's just raw in there. Like I find this place connected to higher power, something, because it's like not even. I'm calling it as I see it. We got to roll. Like we got to get to our goals. And sometimes I look over at a parent. Like most of the times I don't care, but then like the other day I looked over at her and she was like she soaked it in what I was saying, which sounded kind of rough. I felt enough to look over to the side, but it really does take a village. Like it takes the whole tribe to build the village.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all doing. Like to be part of the community. So to add that future part of it and to be of service in that, it's so impactful. And it I don't know.
You get the kids to think too of like, what are you going to do later?
Right.
Right. Like, because a lot of times, like, dude, I wanted to be a cop, a firefighter, border patrol. Like, I didn't know what I wanted.
Right.
I had no idea, but I was like, but no one talked about it.
Right.
So then, and that no fault of our coaches or our parents. That's just what they knew. They raised us with the best of their ability and with the information they had from their parents.
100%.
Right. Like, I do not raise my child the same way my grandpa raised my mom
100%.
and the way she raised me, even though I feel like I ended up all right. I feel like my parents ended up all right. And I know my grandpa's a badass, but we have more information now. So we have to just start spreading that information and that knowledge and raise our kids a little bit differently to think of the future and to think of things like what's plan A and B.
Right.
Right. Like, and I mean that, and like, I don't have a plan B. Right. So I mean it for kids because like there are a lot of kids who say, I'm going to go play professional sports. And that's great. I think you should think that way. But then what's the backup just in case? Right.
That's, dude, Luna I took her to, like they had astronomy night or something like that the other night. She's like, Dad, do we have to only listen to these teachers? And like the fact that she questioned that, like blew my mind, that like she already knows that she doesn't have to stay stuck in any kind of box.
Right.
Which was exciting to hear because of what you're talking about. Like this is what you do. This is how you do it. Then they grow up with this mindset of like, this is the way that it's done. But the challenge of like, there's more out there. Let's go find it. How can we get more out of life? And I think that's important to have that conversation and be okay with. So my response to her was like, yeah, if you ever need to learn something else from somebody, you can ask them. And
that's
like
smart.
if you wanted another coach, you can get another coach.
Right.
If you wanted to grow, and like it might hurt me. At the same time, it's not about me. It's about her growth.
100%.
Like I'm committed to that kid's growth. So I'm always going to find the path. But that's also going back to that Dion's dad, like that concept of it is like, I'm going to facilitate still. Like I'm going to oversee, like if we're in a clean path, then I'll let you know.
Dude,
but
he's the head coach, not the quarterback coach.
100%.
Right. Like
coach.
he may be playing some of the calls or whatever.
Right.
And dude, I love it. Like there are people who hate on that and, favoritism and that stuff. Dude,
Right.
I'm the coach. I treat those little kids like I'm supposed to, right? Like I'm a volunteer. I'm not paid to be here.
Right.
I'm a volunteer. I'm going to treat your kids like I treat, like, dude, my son still, I mean, he's 6. He calls me dad, but I tell him it's coach.
Right.
Because I want every other kid to feel like you call me coach, he calls me coach, right? Because again, these kids are probably going to coach with us until I decide that coaching is not my thing or I'm not good enough, you know? And I love my dad for it. My dad coached me all the way until high school and then was
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm out.
Dude.
I don't have the skill set for
Yeah.
this. And he never played. I played soccer
Uh-huh.
in high school. And I was really good at it.
Right.
And then I find out later, my dad was like you, dude. He was a wrestler.
Yeah.
He went to
Yeah, I remember
to
that,
state. Yeah. He wrestled. And I'm like thinking, you never even talked to me about wrestling.
Right.
But I was like 100 pounds, right? He probably thought I'd break or something. But
He's
it
like,
was
there's
like,
a reason, son.
yeah, he just said that he would like go on the internet, like, because they didn't have YouTube back then,
Right.
but he would like try to search things and like he would go to the library and read books about soccer. Now
Right.
I'm like, okay, like I played baseball, but I wasn't like the best.
Right.
So I'm like Googling, because again, we have this world of information. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, drills for 6-year-old kids, right?
Right.
And then like 3 drills will pop up. I'm like, dope. So someone else who took the time, effort, and energy to make that their thing.
Paving the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just take it, right? Steal it.
100%. And that, dude, that is such the fact that we have access to that stuff makes life so
Amazing.
much easier. So much easier because you can go on the fly, on the way to practice, and figure out what the hell you're doing
Mhm.
that day.
Yeah, because and then being all in when you're there, right? Like
Right.
I don't answer my phone. I
Right.
take my watch off, right? Because I think that's important that these parents trust me. That
Right.
like for that hour that I'm there, 60 minutes, dude. Like
You can do anything for 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
Right.
I'm gonna be there with those kids. I'm gonna give them everything so that they realize like I'm purposeful there. We're doing
Right.
drills there. Like it's not everything has a purpose that we're gonna do, and that's how we run our business, right? We're purposeful there, so I'm gonna be purposeful at the practice. I'm gonna
Right.
be purposeful at my house. I'm gonna be purposeful when we're on vacation, and do those things just because I don't want there to be dead space or dead time. And then like we talked about earlier when I got here, right? My son putting my phone down, right? But, he said, "Oh, you said you'd play with me," and then he's grabbing my phone and putting
Right.
it down. How am I gonna do that to 6-year-olds?
Right.
Right? Like I got to be present,
Right.
show up, and give them everything.
100%,
Right?
dude. That intentionality, and the truth is, like, you said it so like straightforward, but like it fucks kids up too if you're not. Like, that is why that we're talking about this right
Yep.
now. Is that we're trying to do something like we're trying to help and not
Mhm.
hurt. And there's a heavy price to be paid for someone who's ignored.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be a time where there could be a time for a kid to come up and stop asking the questions.
Right.
Stop questioning the people who's teaching them. Stop, like, and they just take it. Then they start from there is like, all right, they have accepted it, and now we got a problem.
Yep.
Because if that kid goes quiet when they should be speaking up, it's like I'm part of the problem because every time they came to talk to me, I shut them down.
Yep.
So now the person that they love the most in the world shuts them down, then they're not going to feel value to anybody.
They talk about that in like relationships, right?
Right.
Where they talk about the couples that fight all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you should start paying attention when the one person you like that whatever you fight with or whatever stops talking.
Yeah, that's where the
That's when the
problem's
problem that's when you know
Right.
you have a serious problem is
Right.
when they stop talking, right? So then we just don't get to that point with these kids.
Right.
They're important to me. They're important to like again, it's important for me to be a coach just because I have that in me. I might not be the best at it, but I have that like my dad was my coach, dude,
Right.
and I loved it.
Right.
Like and we fought and he's my stepdad.
Right.
But I've known him since I was 2. So that dude is my dad. Like
Right.
that dude is my guy. And dude, there's nothing like we lived in by Old Tucson
Right.
and we would drive to Marana every day. So we had like an hour drive there and back. So I was in the car with him all the time and he would, just what I did wrong, what I did right. And then like I'd be complaining in the car and bitching and all this stuff, dude. And now I look back at it as now I'm 36 and I'm like, that was the most badass time, and I thank him for it. I thanked him for it like 10 years ago when I was like, dude, I love that you were my coach. Like I wouldn't, cause then I see, and no offense to these people,
Right.
but I see the dads there that don't give a shit.
Right.
No offense. I don't know what you got going on. I don't know what's in your brain. And I'd rather you sit down and not give a shit
Right.
than show up and pretend to give a shit at the practice and not give the kids all in. Cause I give a shit. I'm there for sure, but I'll always be Liam's coach until he gets to a point where he needs somebody else because I can't help him elevate.
Right. And that obviously was passed down to you by you seeing it with the father figure in your life. Now, the kids like that, parents they'll show up once in a while.
Mhm.
Like every time I get the opportunity when a dad's talking to me for a second, I ask them, when are you going to come on the mat? And like they get shocked sometimes that I even ask them to go out there.
Mhm.
And like I make sure it's known that I don't need their help because I tell them that either some man's going to train your kid life or you're going to do it.
Right. For sure.
So the fact when a parent takes off their shoes and they get on the mat, I'm like, hell yeah.
Yep.
A, it gives me more supervision on what's going on so they don't take their heads off.
Yeah.
But B, like if you get down there, like
Yep.
that's the biggest form to show your kid you care.
Yep. You're with them, dude.
You're with, even if you don't know what the hell to do. Watch me. You
Yep.
have a developed brain by now.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up what I'm doing and let's just go get after it.
Yep.
You're watching. I'm
At
not
least
asking
try.
their older, exactly. It doesn't matter if you know or not. Like it's uncomfortable to be the wrestler in there. So the kid's having a hard time already.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's not an easy
they
sport,
have to
dude.
struggle. It's
yeah,
not.
It's not an easy sport.
And for the dad just to be there, like that's uncomfortable too. But the point of wrestling is to get to uncomfortable spots fast and get out of them.
Yeah.
Then what happens when you get out of the uncomfortable spot? Another one shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to get out of it. But guess what happens once you get safety on that one? Another one shows up.
Yep.
And you're constantly going from problem to solution to problem to solution. So the goal is just to get to the problem fast so you can figure out the solution to get to the next problem. Like that is it. So if it's uncomfortable, like that is the place we're supposed to be.
Yep.
That's why they say wrestlers are tough. That's why they say they have the strongest mentalities because they're constantly in a place of like uncomfortable, and they just learn to be calm in that place because they've been there so much.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that's why, like, again, I don't know why I didn't do wrestling. Again, I think my dad's, because he saw me.
You
and he
never
was
know,
like,
dude. Sometimes wrestlers they get their stomach turned out from like
Yeah.
always cutting weight, especially back then. Like
Yeah.
it is a whole different animal of
Yeah.
like sweatsuits and like
Yeah.
bags and
Yeah.
just dripping. Like
I remember
no
seeing the
eating.
wrestling kids in school, and I'm like, I don't think I could do that.
It's tough, dude. Like there's conversations like with Presley that like we're getting ready for tournaments coming in the beginning of March, and there's weight brackets. And I know if you go up in weight, like you got to deal with bigger people that are
Yep.
coming down, just like in any sport. And that means that they're stronger. That means
Yep.
that they're probably more experienced and they're cut up coming down. So then like
Yeah.
they're harder. But at the same time, like, do I want to, at this age, like she's still got to live a little
Yeah.
at the same time. So we're going to roll with it and
Yeah.
just hope that
And see what happens.
we sweat enough in practice so that way we can get it. And who knows, maybe she's just healthier and stronger in that place where
Yeah.
she's at. Like that is but it's the best feeling, man. Parenting, I think like it is what a gift to have to get to go home and
Yep.
do that, because as hard as it is, like it is the get to concept. I know that you got a thing around this, but at the
Yep.
same time what I see in
Yeah.
my mind is that it's getting to that hard place. Like it's an opportunity
Mhm.
because from the challenge that you're in front of, that's how you get stronger. That's
Yep.
how you get better. It's like if I want to get more loans, I gotta do harder loans. Like, but then I can't cry when I have difficult shit. You know what I mean? I gotta get to the harder shit fast so I can get better.
Yeah, it's like that. I think we talked about it once on one of our walks, right? It was like I don't exactly remember, so I'm gonna butcher it because it's like a thing from like the Bible or something. And you know me, dude. I don't know a lot about the Bible, but
Amen.
it's like you don't pray for things to get easier. You pray for the strength to do the things that you're praying for, right?
100%.
Because it's like, I'll tell you, me and Liam, I drive him to school every day. It's part of our routine, right? He gets up, we get him ready, drive to school, and I pray for him every day. So we're driving to school, and we do 3 things. So first I say those things to him. I love you. You're my best friend. You're gonna play Division I sports. And sometimes he's hearing me. Sometimes he's a kid. He's 6. He's like, okay, thanks. Whatever, right? And then I pray for him. So I'll tell, I pray for him, our household, my business, and then just in general. Because I know one thing that really stuck out to me one day on Facebook was someone said, "I'll pray for you," and I thought, that's the future. Someone said, I need your prayer now. So why are you going to wait to pray for them? You should just pray for them right now because they're asking for it right now. You saw it right now. Not say, I'll pray for you. Like, I'll pray for you later.
Yes.
So you should like it should. So I do this thing now where when I see those things, I stop. I normally don't post about it. I just do my thing. Hey, God, please. Steph's asking for some prayer. I don't know what's going on in his life, but if you could just watch over him. That's it. Dude, what, 4 seconds? It's over.
Right.
It's done, right? So we do that. So I say the 3 things, I pray, and then I have my affirmations. Right. And I have him hear me say those things. And because I want him eventually to have his own, right? He's 6. Right. He doesn't need him right now. I want him to be a kid. I want him to be little. I want him to be like my baby forever, right? But it's like I want him to hear those things because like we go to school 5 days a week, right? So 5 days a week, he's hearing that stuff. We pray in the morning, the 3 things, and the affirmations, right? So just putting that into his head. And again, so today to get back to the point of our walk is I remember us talking about, as we're walking down Julian Wash or Pantana, whatever the wash is, it was like, pray for the strength to do this.
Right.
Right. Not for things to get easier.
Right.
Just get stronger.
Right.
Just get stronger. Just get stronger.
Dude, because it doesn't get easy. I think you just get better. Fucking
100%.
You just get better. That's it. You get better at doing hard things.
Life does not get easier. Dude.
Right.
You roll with the punches. Things happen. I remember when your dad passed away, right? Like, that shit doesn't get easier. When my grandpa passed away and my grandma passed away. So luckily for me, I was 33 and 34 when that happened. So I had a long time with them as grandparents. I believe that that's a long time. And what dawned on me was like, my dad turned 70 this year. Dude, I'm going to be lucky if he sees my son graduate.
Right.
Because my grandpa died at 83. My dad will be 83 when my son graduates.
Right.
Like, I will be lucky.
Right.
Right. Which means I don't have that much time left. And it was just like, things are not going to get easier, but we can get stronger.
Right.
Right. Because we can control that.
Right.
Right.
100%. 100%. It's, it's a trip to me is that, like, what we're feeling sometimes, and you're going through something, like, it's actually like you're in something that feels hard and the end of the world, or you don't know how to handle it, but it is the thing that, like, will shape you for the next 5 years.
Yep.
Like that one thing, like when you talked about my dad passing, like
Yep.
that one, whatever I was in that moment, like, it took strength and stuff like that to get through it. But then there was parts where I wasn't, like I was an emotional wreck, things like that.
Yep.
And at the same time, like, those are areas when I look back at, like, the things that led up to his passing, when I got to, like, look him eye to eye and let him know that I forgave him for certain things that I was holding on to, like, that he had no idea about, and clear my chest. And he told me about where they came from and why he was like that in those areas from his parents. So when you're talking about parents to parent, like, they did the best that they could. He just told me straight to my face that he did the best that he could. In other words, like, where he learned it from. And 2 weeks later, he died. And I was like, damn, like, had I not pulled out the courage to talk to that dude in that moment, like, I would have missed the whole thing. And I'd still be holding on to it. And who knows what my life would be like. Yeah, like, all that stuff. And it's more punishment. Like, I know he enjoyed me wrestling so much. There was parts where, like, he could have been there. He did shit that he wasn't there. And so there was wrestling matches where, like, he would be screaming on the side of and I hear him. And if I lost, I look back to see what his face was like. And if it hurt him, I knew that I hurt him. And it felt kind of good in a weird way. Like, it just felt like, I fucking got you back, fucker. Like, that for missing all that shit in my life. Like
I have...
it's weird. Dude.
I have a stepdad, right?
Yeah.
Been in my life since I was 2.
Right.
When my son was born, I think it was like, I don't know, 6 months later, I got a message from my biological father. Hey, I heard I had a grandson. And my response was, I had a child. Right? Dude, make no questions, dude.
Right.
We don't know each other.
Right.
I don't know him. I know his name.
Right.
I know where he lives, kinda. But, like, growing up, dude, my dad is a different man. My dad is a dude who did not biologically make me.
Right.
That dude is why I am who I am, and I'm lucky, dude. My mom and dad are badasses. My mom, I get my work ethic from both them. My mom was a hardworking lady. She's still working. She loves it because my mom is someone, if you want to talk about, like, someone who loves what she does, she does radiology, dude. She loves that shit,
That's
dude.
exciting.
She breathes that shit, dude. So it's cool to see that because, like, that's how I am, right? I'm a workaholic. But then you got my dad, who was all about us,
Right.
And not to say my mom wasn't, but, like, my dad was the coach,
Right.
So he worked a job at Avis for 35 years, and wasn't a hard job. He'll tell you that wasn't a hard job, but that dude coaching me, coaching my sister, coaching my brother, coaching my sister. He was a coach, dude. He was the guy. He was the coach. And there's so many kids that grew up knowing my dad as the coach, right? And now that's me.
Right.
And going back to that, like, the other day, my wife and I were talking about it, and this is going to sound bad. And, like, she's like, are you going to feel sad when Chris is my dad, my biological dad, when he passes? I said, I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think so. And I was like, why? And I was like, I don't know him.
Right.
And I don't mean this, but, like, when a celebrity passes,
You don't know.
I don't know them. Like, when
Right.
Kobe passed, there were a lot of people who were emotional about it because they knew him.
Right.
I didn't know him.
Right.
Right. And nothing about him passed. Like, it's so sad that he passed, but, like, I don't know the guy. So, like, if I was to go have a conversation with this man right now, like, hey, how's it going? What have you been up to for 20 years? like you don't know, right? Versus, like, I know everything about my dad. My dad knows me. And again, it goes back to my son. Like, I'm not going to confuse him.
Yeah.
There will never be a confusion. He knows who his Papa Frank is, That's his other grandpa. My wife's dad had passed away prior, so he doesn't know him. He knows his tata lives in the, because
Right.
he's bilingual. He's
Yes.
my
I know
my
that,
wife's
yeah.
from Hermosillo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's Spanish, but he's like his tata lives in heaven. You know, now, you know, it's just that difference maker, right? And there's things where sometimes, like, to your point, when I was younger, like, and I would say younger, like in my 20s, where like I wanted to do so good just to be like, fuck you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But then I met my wife. So I had that mentality of like, fuck you, dude.
Right.
Like I'm gonna be badass because fuck you.
Right.
And then I got into this. I met my wife, and I remember just trying to be cool with them.
Right.
I was like, okay, hey, I'm getting married, blah blah blah. And then this dude gave me this biggest woe is me. You should have tried harder to be in my life. And I was like, fuck it, fuck you, dude. I was 13 and 9 and
Right,
8.
right.
Like, come on, man. So then I just got to this point of like, that's it. That was the straw.
Right.
And then later, you know, my son was born. I said, yeah, I have one. And he just asked if he could have a couple pictures, right? I'm not a asshole.
Right.
So I sent him some pictures of my son. And for the longest time, my son was his profile picture, you know, and I told him in the conversation, I said, I will allow you to watch my son grow up via Facebook.
Right.
Because it's not his grandson.
Right.
Because I don't know you, dude.
Right.
And no offense to you. And dude, and his mom and dad, my grandparents, love them. My aunts and my uncles, I love them. Because when I went to New York, where they're from, they were there. I have cousins there that I love, that side of the family. I'm closer with my mom's side of the family, but that side of the family, dude, I love them. They were there. My Aunt Heather was there. My Aunt Kimmy was there. Like, they were there for us.
Dude, it makes a lot of sense, though, in the way
Yeah.
of, like, we were at a wrestling camp with Cain Velasquez, and one of my uncles, my dad's brother, who I haven't seen in years, like, he lives in Peoria, Illinois. He was down there, and he came up to me, and it was like I saw my dad. Like, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I
Yeah.
got this weird feeling.
Yeah.
And Presley was still training, and we're talking. I was like, yeah, that's my kid. And, like, she came back. She needed me. I was like, I got to go, man. So I left, and I didn't introduce them or anything. And, like, when I left, I felt kind of weird about it. And then I was like, no, I didn't, dude. Like, it's my job to protect this kid.
Mm-hmm.
People haven't been around, like, this whole time. And, like, she's never going to see him. They're not going to talk. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't matter. Like, for me, I just made a choice in the moment of that. Let's not even go down that road.
Yeah.
And I felt cool because I stuck to a boundary. And I was like, she doesn't have to feel the way that I felt around that person. Like,
Yep.
the energy that I got, like, it put me, like, I was overwhelmed. I felt it, like, I felt fear. I felt scared a little bit. Like, just because they have, like, the powerful uncle type of, like, but then not to be there too. Like, it just felt like.
But you're bigger now.
You're not going to put my kid through what I have to feel.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I get to take that in. Like,
Yep.
this is my pain. Let me feel it.
Yep.
But, like, she ain't going through that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
And that's a choice we make, right? Like,
Right.
it's a choice that I chose that. I told
Right.
my wife I chose that so that she would understand when I have conversations. Like, I
Right.
say my dad and Chris,
Right.
right? Like, Chris is
Yeah.
she's the biological, so I
Yeah.
just say that. And then she knows the difference, right? And then, like, one day I said something about Chris, and he's like, oh, CJ and Lucas's dad? And I was like, no. I'm like, no, right? And then, but he's 6. He don't care. He don't know. But it's just a choice we make to, like, that's the route we're gonna go. That's the route I'm gonna keep it, because again, we protect them, right? Like, dude, that's my, like, we talk, like, you have the shield, right?
Right.
Like, this is my shield. I'm gonna shield you from that stuff because I'm not gonna do the same thing. I'm
100%.
obviously in your life. I'm gonna be in your life forever, and we're not gonna have them feel the way we feel. And but I also forgave him for
Right.
everything. I forgive him for
Right.
not being there. I
Right.
forgive him for whatever, because I ended up better.
Right.
I look at his shit now and I'm like, dude, like, I love my mom, but, like, what the fuck were you thinking, dude? Like, I love my mom and dad, but I'm like, my dad is a badass, dude.
Right.
Like, again, the work ethic, he still works for us now, dude.
Right.
He helped us with the flips.
Right.
He's 70.
Right.
And it's like, I just know I'd be a different person had she not divorced him, had she not
100%.
found this other man that
Right.
then took us in and raised us. And dude, and you know, and it helped me because my wife has a child that's not mine. Right, I have my stepson, and my wife doesn't get that my dad treats me just like my brother, who is actually his son. Right? There ain't no fucking difference. He treats us the same. He comes to my house. He watches my kid.
Right.
He hangs out with me. We do shit because I live here.
Right.
Right. And it's like, I do the same thing with Ian. Right. We had our headbutting period of time, just like me and my dad did. But like now it's like,
years,
yeah,
it happens, yeah.
And now it's the same. It's like, he's like, hey, can I come work for you?
Right.
Yeah. Hey, can I get some help? Yeah. Like I'm teaching him how to change a tire or change his oil, the same shit my dad did. Right.
Right.
And it's like, his dad's not around. So I had to be that piece. And then she's like, you know, one of the things, she's gonna hate that I say this, but I say anyway. She hates when she's like, "Oh, it's my son and our son." Nah, dude. I married you with a child, so then it's like it's us.
Right.
It's just us.
Right.
Like I'll tell Liam, he's my baby, and I always say that people when ask how many sons you have, I say 2.
Right.
Stepson and a real son.
Right.
Now maybe I go the extra step by staying that piece.
Right.
But like when I say I have a 22-year-old, people look at me and I'm like, okay. He's my stepson. They're like, oh, okay, because I look a little bit like I shouldn't have a 22-year-old son. But it's like that piece of just that family unit, just being strong with it, being guided in the one mission, and just, you know, making choices.
Dude, and I think it's important for your stepson to feel that too, because when my mom got divorced, I got a stepfather, which gave me great. He was there for me. It was good stuff. I got stepbrothers out of it, like that were so cool. Like I get to be in another one's wedding. Like I also got my half brother out of it. Like all those chapters do a part, but there was portions where like I had to fight my way to feel included, not within them, but with their cousins. Like so when they brought me along, like I was a Catalan, not a Castro, and so like. I was different, and I had to like work hard. Granted, I get to look back now and be like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking Catalan." Yeah,
like I'm way cooler than you.
For sure. But at the same time, like to feel included though, there was moments where like my stepdad would just take me in, and I felt like he'd call me son. He still calls me son. I still call him to borrow his truck now. Like, hey. Like I need something, and he's there. We'll figure it out. Like he's actually the guy we went to go look at that house for in that Desert Shadows? That one. So he's the one that he lived right next door to it. So
I met him.
He let us in. Yeah, you met him.
Yeah, I met him.
So my youngest brother is with my mom, and so like is the coolest kid in the world. Like I got all that stuff out of it, but at the same time, like it's important to feel included. I think that the fact that you're doing that is important, and you're there. Like at the end of the day, you're there or not there, and you're there. Like the fact that you're showing up daily, and
it's a struggle.
They say the percentage, it's always a struggle, but you rather struggle through it than not be there, because percentage of people that fuck off in life, like if you go back to the which ones had a mother or a father, like if the father's there, it's higher that their success rate on them surviving and thriving is better than when they don't have a father. If not, you get people who are hurt, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's like, luckily my hurt stories went out so young that I got to fix them early, and then rewrite like all the shit that it meant to me. And I think it's important. I'm glad that you got to
I think that
talk to your dad.
That forgiveness piece was cool, right? Like I made a decision, right?
Right.
Because it's like it's the choices we talk about all the time. Is I don't choose what comes at me. I choose on how I react to what comes at me.
Right.
And I just chose one day, I don't know, it was 4th of July.
Right.
And we were sitting there on a dike in New York, and I chose to tell him basically that I forgave him for everything, and that was it. And then the next time we talked was a text message or a Facebook Messenger about my son being born 6 months after he was born. And then it's sporadic after that, right? I don't wish him any harm, nothing like that, but it's like, don't know him, don't care, it's all good. And then, Liam sees Liam gets like a different side of me, right? He gets the all-in piece, right? And like you alluded to, the get-tos, right? Created that when he was born because it was just something that made sense to me.
Right.
So everything that we get to do just made sense. And I've just, it's been a driving force, right? Like we get to go on vacation. We get to go to this place. We get to go here. We get to do this, right?
Because it's a mindset.
Because daddy worked so hard.
Right.
And then, like I got to retire my wife, which was super sick in this too. And she wants to go back to work and whatever she does. It's
Dude,
cool.
but I think also like with the get-to mentality, like if we're in the same time frame of Guild Mortgage, like being around there, like that aspect of it, it was also like prior to getting to being a privilege, it was I have to,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to was a mind fuck of like, fuck, I gotta do this, fuck, I gotta do that,
Yep.
which keeps that pattern would have been the same as your biological dad
Mm-hmm.
of like this whole victim mentality, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what have to falls into. It's
Yep.
like that, and if that pattern went on any longer, like so, the
Yep.
fact that you made that shift, turned it into get to,
Mm-hmm.
and like had pivoted your mindset, which
Mm-hmm.
who gets impacted for that? The rest of your family and
Mm-hmm.
everybody down your success
Yep.
of shit that you do with the rest of your life. Do you like? I think that's the most important. And for people who doesn't know what that means, explain that real quick. The get to mentality.
Yeah. So 2019, it was 2018. We were at Guild Mortgage, and we were in a branch, and we were having a conversation. And I remember just having a conversation with somebody talking about how all these things they had to do for their kid, because I was the one having a baby, right? So they were like, "Oh, you're gonna have to change the diaper. You're gonna have to wake up at 1 o'clock and feed him, and you're gonna have to drive around in your car and put him to sleep, and you're not gonna get any sleep." But hey, but then you're gonna get to play sports.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, dude.
That's
I
good.
get to do everything. I get to wake up with
Right.
him. I get to change his diaper. I get to feed him, dude, because he's a baby. He
Right.
needs me, right? There's no having to. It's a necessity. Like
Right.
when they're like now he can make cereal, right? Like he probably won't die,
Right.
right? Like he could probably feed himself, but in that infancy, like he needs me so that I do those things for him so that later I get to do the cooler shit with
Right.
him, right? But it's all cool because I was a father for the first time,
Right.
right? Like all of it. So I just ended up switching it to the get tos. Like I get to do everything
Right.
with them, and that's when I came out with the hats and everything.
Right.
And then just made sure that he knew that when I wore that hat, the get to hat, it was for him. Like
Right.
that was his hat. That was
Right.
because he helped me make that word, and
Right.
he helped me along with that. And then I translated into business.
Right.
We get to dial.
Right.
We get to do loans.
Right.
We get to do hard shit.
Right.
We also get to go golf.
Yep.
We get to go hang out.
Right.
We get to whatever, just do whatever normal life is. We get to go on vacation,
Right.
right? And I tell my wife that all the time. We get to go on vacation because when I'm here, I'm all in on the business, and then we leave for 2-3 days, and I get to do that.
Right. It's a form of gratitude, man.
Mhm.
It is being grateful that we get to go through a hard moment, and by doing this, like it is what we get. Even in the process, it's like this is the one life that we have,
Mhm.
and that is it right there. Like some people don't have this opportunity.
None.
We get to.
Yeah.
Like this is it.
Yep.
We're not a fucking roll of toilet paper for a living. We're human beings who
Yep.
get to do shit. And so instead of being fucking mad and bitter, like this
Yep.
is a moment of like fucking be all in, do the dishes, and fucking you get
And
to
roll
do the
with it,
dishes. Yeah,
right? You
you're
get
like
to do the dishes. and
some
yeah.
people would. My dog would fucking pray to change my role
Yep.
with him.
And there were times that, like, back then, right, we go back,
Mm-hmm.
and Drew Smith, my new
Mhm.
business partner, been doing deals with him forever. We run the team and the company. He said this once, and it stuck with me for a long time. He said, "Don't you wish we had the foresight to understand that what we're feeling right now will pass?" Right? Like, imagine the days, like, and I know you, we've had bad days together, right? We're just sitting there like, is this loan going to close? Is this going to happen? Whatever, right? And it's like just having the foresight to realize, yes, it's going to pass.
Right.
And then Tom Hanks, I attributed this to him, right? The saying, this too shall pass.
Yep.
The bad times, the good times, the okay times, the horrible times, right? So it's like when you add those things together, I just think about it sometimes. And I'm sitting here going like, damn, today kind of sucks, but it's only today.
Right. I think it's important, man. This is why, believe it or not, John and I had a podcast together called the Powerhouse Podcast, because conversations like this go so far and there's so much to talk about. Like there's like 10 things that are just, this isn't scripted. This is just running through my mind right now of things that we can talk about. And speaking of the podcast, like the way the Powerhouse Podcast, like I think it was our first guest. We were sitting in the room together, and you're like, this dude, he's killing it on social media. This is before social media was tight. Like, it was more of like where you update people in your family and stuff like that.
Yep.
But like Steve Panate had started like his own YouTube series, and he was starting to crush
Yep.
it. And I was like, I'm gonna call him. So we fucking got his number off of YouTube. I call him and I set up a podcast, and I was
Yep.
like, well, we have a fucking podcast now.
Yep.
So we had to start from there.
Yep.
And we got to start from there. Like
Yep.
that was a snowball of opportunity, man. Like even speaking to him, hearing his story, like we had to FaceTime you in or some shit during the interview, but that was cool because he was like, dude, you know what you got to do. And he said it in a stutter because he stuttered. But hearing his story was powerful. I'm not talking shit. His so powerful. Hearing it come from him, very like thoughtful. And he's like God's putting this on me. You have to go teach video.
Yep.
Like he was like, you got to teach people how to do video. And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, have I done it yet? Like, no. But now I still feel it talking about it. Like I should be fucking teaching people right now video because like that dude saw something in me that I didn't see at the time. And like to be sharing and shit like that, it shows that things like this, like sharing our time with our family, the things that we're learning, they're important, they're impactful. Like it's not just me and you having a conversation, it's resonating with other people. And I think that it's important to continue to be vulnerable and share things like that. Some people don't want to talk about hard things that go on with their family, or
because you want to be perfect, right? Social media, right? If you're not perfect, then all of a sudden
you got this facade, or you got to maintain it, like, and that's hard, dude. Like it's hard to maintain a perfect image. Like just be vulnerable. You get what you see with me. Like I'm not gonna let you down. If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Like, and if I can't, like I'm gonna let you know. Like it's just that easy. Like
it is what it is.
And there's so much on the line. And thankfully, we get these stories in our life, these times that we've learned hard lessons. So that way we can be the men that we are right now. Like you're getting a version of us that got to learn through our parents on what to do and what not to do. And sometimes the what not to do's are the exact things that we needed to see so that way we can be all in present parents, intentional with our kids, and show them life the best way that we know right now. And that's why it's important for us to stay locked in on growth so that way if we're missing a piece of the puzzle, like it's a good feeling when I can look in your eyes, and if you say something that resonates with me, it's like, fuck, that's where I gotta fix in my life. Like, and that happens
or not
so
fix,
much.
but like tweak, right? Like
it's like that's good. Like for you just did it again right now. Like so that is a point of where like, all right, I can also tweak the way that I communicate to myself because now my self-talk, like those things are important because if I say fix, then I'm saying it's fucked up.
Right.
When it's not, I just need to make adjustments.
Yeah.
And
it's,
so like
it's
that's
like the what something that just on the topic is Aaron Wilson had done this one thing. He told me about his YouTube video, or he made a YouTube channel. Like I don't know.
Another guy we interviewed.
Yep, 3 years ago.
Yep.
He was talking about it, how he has a YouTube for his kids, right?
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's so dope.
That was fucking deep.
And
dude.
I was like, that's a good idea,
mind
right?
blown by that.
So from that time forward, if you look, I don't know when we did that podcast, years ago, right? If you look at my Instagram,
5 years ago.
So 5 years ago is when I switched my Instagram to my son.
Yeah.
So when I take pictures of him, when I post about him, the business stuff is the business stuff. But every post about him, if you read it, I'm talking to him.
Right.
Hey, we had fun here. We did this. We did that. So that when I die and he gets my username and login, because I'm sure he'll have it, whatever, right? Like he'll get to go on my Instagram and scroll back to when he was born, and I'm talking to him through my posts. So that like as he's seeing them, it's like, hey, we had fun in Universal. Hey, this was your first day at baseball practice, right? And I'm just talking to him. And then I say things. I love you. I care about you, whatever. Because like Instagram, I feel is going to live forever, right? Like I feel like the internet, all that stuff, it's on there forever.
Right.
So I'm like, what better way? Because YouTube wasn't my thing. But what better way? I'm taking pictures. I'm taking videos. So like as I'm doing it, I'm just talking to him, right? And I don't care that you get to see it and all the followers get to see it, right? It doesn't matter. When I die and he gets to look at it, or even when I don't die, when he's
that's a good
of age
I'm
for
okay
Instagram.
With that concept though of like you're not gonna live forever,
right? I'm not gonna live forever.
Looking through your Instagram,
right?
like,
or maybe when he's 15 or 16, like he looks through it, dude, and as he's scrolling through and he's just stalking his dad, right? He's like, damn, I did some cool shit.
Yeah.
Damn, my dad loved me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then
and he was your best friend,
right?
And you're gonna play Division I sports.
100%. Yeah, I think it's constantly ingraining that, like from the get-go, no matter what. I think it's important, but I found a tweaking moment as you were talking, and I'm not like cracked out tweaking. Dude, like I do it in a different way, like within the 6 F's. Like I only post about faith, family, fitness, finances, your fun. Like that is it. But it's not so directed and intentional to the kids. So like I do it in a lot of areas. Like you mentioned it with your dad. Like you gave him kudos for not the forgiveness, not your biological
Yeah,
dad,
yeah,
but your dad.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
like you give
yeah.
him flowers for like you thank him so much for the shit that he did.
Mhm.
Like same goes in with the kids. Like I think like how to create more toward just being direct and intentional towards them
Mhm.
so they know and it's not this like I don't get to go back and go say like, oh, I did all this because I love you, but like it's kind of like for everybody to
Mhm.
see, not just them, you know what I mean? So like how to be intentional with some of the stuff that
Yeah.
I put out towards them so that way they get the message that I'm talking, like a message to my daughters, like
Mhm.
like that could be my whole highlight campaign,
Mhm.
message to my daughters, and then me communicating to them on life lessons and stuff. So if they want to go learn something, that's where they go
Yeah.
learn something from me, because that's all they're gonna like. I agree with the Instagram concept. Like
Yep.
when I'm done talking, because my voice doesn't do it anymore, they're gonna go back to this shit. They're gonna go back to
Yep.
whatever's out there left of dad, and that's why I think it's important to put it out there,
Mhm.
because if not, like you miss it. Like
Yeah.
I have maybe 2 recordings of my dad, and he was already in the hospital, and like I decided to like download a recording app and start record. Like I just
Yeah.
felt it at that point,
Mhm.
but some of the conversations were great. Like I got some of the best messages. Some of them weren't. Like he was just in his like talking
Mhm.
shit about people or something like that. Like, um, but at the same time, like how much I can feed their minds now
Mhm.
later too. Like I can reaffirm it when they go back and look at this stuff and do that. So Aaron Wilson, like I don't know if that's a bad idea to still go back and do that. Like I kicked myself in the ass because it's another moment of like I didn't plant the tree
Yep.
when the nugget was given.
Yeah,
at
he
that
gave us
time.
that nugget, and I switched it then because it was like, okay, this is my thing, so I'm
Right.
just gonna make it my thing and just talk to him
But-
through this app,
Right.
and hope that it works,
Right.
hope that the app works.
Right.
But it's like I plan on taking pictures with my son
Right.
the rest of my life, and talking about him the rest of my life because
Right.
he's my guy, and I just want to talk to him because then if let's just say for instance I leave earlier than I should,
Uh-huh.
dude, at least he got something that shows
Yep.
like
He
that
can
those
go
3
back.
things I tell him are real.
Right.
Like it's real. I
Right.
do like, at least 2 of them, right? I don't know if he's gonna go D1.
Right.
I love it. I would love it, but like he will know for sure that I loved him, and he
Mm.
will know for sure I was his best friend.
I'll tell you one thing. This is what you got to be okay with. My dad wanted me to be a state champ wrestler, right?
Mhm.
And I told you a story how I was also resentful and
Yep.
I was trying to get revenge with him on not being a state champ wrestler.
Mhm.
So when I got into college, I went into DECA, and which is business school, and took state first place in state in business
Mhm.
in sports management marketing. Like when I went home with like a state title, then I
Yep.
was like, I
Yeah,
still got
gotcha.
it, motherfucker. But different. But at the same time, was like, okay, like it's the picture changed a little bit, but
Yep.
the goal didn't. Like I can still say when I'm around other wrestlers or other people, like I don't have to feel down on myself that I'm not a state champ, because
Right.
I am a state champ. I just decided to use my mind.
Yep.
I decided to use my skills. Like I had to speak in front of people. I had to prepare for that. Like
Yep.
it took a whole different skill set, which was outside of the norm of like be tough, be a wrestler.
And I think the D1 thing, right? Because all these people are like, why don't you say professional athlete,
Uh-huh.
right? And it's like, because I don't pick that.
Right.
I don't know if people like him or not.
Right.
They're gonna like him and choose him, right? But D1 isn't just sports.
Right.
Those people, to get to D1, what you have to do
Discipline.
mentally,
Yeah.
the discipline, like it's just so much that you have to strive for,
Right.
right? They talk about it. To be a D1 athlete, you have to do so much.
Mm.
That's all I want. Because if he falls to D2 or never plays sports, I don't care. But if he has the discipline, the work ethic, the mentality to be competitive like we are, we're not.
Right.
I'm a D1 real estate agent.
Right.
I'm a professional, dude.
Right.
I went D1.
Right.
I'm it.
Right.
Right. That's what I want in his mentality. Work hard, have the grit, have the mentality, have the discipline to do what needs to be done to provide for your family. That's, in my words, D1.
Right.
Right.
It's exciting because it's gonna come regardless, and
Yeah.
you'll get to feel it and experience it. And I think that if it shifts in any way, shape, or form, then like you'll still be like you because you have the mindset, and the mindset's
Yep.
gonna be like, "Damn, he still fucking did it."
Yeah, he did it, dude. Like whatever. Like you said, it
He-
wasn't a state championship in wrestling, but
Right.
it was a state
Right.
and championship in marketing. So
Yeah.
you used your brain.
Right.
Dude, it don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It says your state championship. I see it on the wall, dude. It says it. It says it right there. It says state championship.
Yeah.
It says state. Boom.
Right.
Right. So then for him, it'd be the same thing, right? If it's, like I said, I use chess because it's the only thing I can think of, right? That's not a sport, but it's
Right.
like if he did something else, dude, it don't matter as
Right.
long as he has good work ethic, he has that grit, he has that dog in him, right? Because like people always ask us, like, describe yourself, right? Dude, I'm a dog.
Right.
I'm not a house dog, dude. I'm in the streets. We are
Right.
trying to do deals. We are trying to do stuff. Like, and I got that from Alex Verdugo, right? He's like, I'm this dog, and I heard him talk about it once, and because he played left field for us for a year, the Yankees, and it resonated with me. It's like we have that grit, we have that mentality. Like we're here, like we'll fight, like to win, not physically, but like mentally, and to do what needs to be done in order to make sure our family's always provided for.
Right.
Don't matter. Like I have it in me. Like I'm that dog, and I love it. And then something else I learned real quick was people ask you, how are you doing? And normal response is good, okay, right? Like I've learned that if someone asks you, and if you want to see if they're caring, I tell them, I'm tired, I'm stressed, and I'm happy. And I see what they say. I'm tired, stressed, and happy. What does that mean? I'm stressed because the weight of what I want to accomplish that has not been done yet is so heavy. I'm tired because I'm not there yet, but I'm happy because everything I've ever wanted so far for my family has been accomplished.
That's good.
Right?
Yep.
Because again, remember, go back when we started this commission job. All I wanted to do was do X. Now I did X. All you want to do is do X, then you do X. And then it's like, all I want to do is $1 million a month. I want to do $1 million a month. Dude, get it. I want to make 100,000. Boom, you do it. I want to do this, then boom, you do it, right? Like you have to remember and give yourself a pat on the back, and it's okay to say, I did something, 5 years ago where, again, having the foresight to see it, that there were times in my life I was struggling to be where I am today, and I'm here. So like, get after it, but don't settle. Keep going. I have a bigger vision, so just keep going, stay true to the path, and just keep doing your thing and head down. Like, dude, head down, do deals.
It's the same shit over and over.
Dude, repetitive. It should be like our job should be boring.
Right.
And that's why we're successful, because it's boring. I do the same shit every day, and then the things that are the curveballs is my son and the home life, right? And I got super fortunate because my wife was cool with not working. She was cool to just like hold the house down, dude. If it weren't for her, dude, I wouldn't eat right. I wouldn't sleep right. So that it's badass, right? And a lot of times, I forget that is a job, right, dude? Caring for that kid is way more
100%.
Stressful than what I do.
100%.
So it's deep.
Yeah, dude, that's important. It reminded me of like the saying of when we sat with Brian Colhane in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And he said that he's a little tired, a little cold, and a little hungry.
Yeah.
Like that, and it's okay.
Yep.
And I'm good. Like it's okay to be a little tired. It's okay to be a little cold. It's okay to be a little hungry. Like that's what keeps you uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you're alive.
And alive.
Yep.
Like with that. If you're fat, full, and happy, like you got no purpose
you're
here.
Fucked, dude.
You're done here.
That's why I tell you, I still say this. I've said this to you since like the day I met you.
Right.
I'm broke.
Yeah.
I'm broke.
Right.
What does that mean? Mentally I'm broke.
Right.
I got no money, whatever. I continue to have that broke mentality because that dog that was broke in 2016, right? Because like no one knows, like I started off my lending career $36,000 in debt, right? I just told somebody on my team the other day, I just paid off. So 2016, 2024, December of 2024, I finally paid off my last collection. Dude, that weight of like that, it's done. The what I went through in 16, 17, 18, and 19 to taking all the way till 2024 to pay that shit off, dude, felt fucking phenomenal. I was like, it's gone, it's done, it's over, right? Now I can move on.
Right.
But it was like, you just had to get through it. And when it was 16, 17, 18, 19, I still had the same fucking grit, dude. I still had the same bite. I'm like, I'm still striving for more and more and more.
Right.
And then so is the team now, right? They want more and more and more because they're being led by somebody.
Leaders lead. You just got to lead.
Dude, winners win, losers lose, right?
Right.
And you and I are raising winners.
100%.
And I want to be around winners. And it's like, if I'm leading by the example, which I do for Liam, which I do for my team.
Right.
If I'm telling you we're going to do 250 deals, I'm trying to do myself 250 deals.
Right.
So you feel the pressure, what it feels like to just want more and more and more and never be satisfied, right? It's like never be satisfied. Do as much as you can. Come up with solutions. Dude, we're in real estate, dude. It's fucking easy. Talk to people.
100%.
Shit happens.
100%. I think what's important too is like what we do for a living is we shift people's perspective, and I think it's important to get the tool set
Mm-hmm.
to see a person where they're at. Like I think that the shit that we went through, we just talked about right now, like our parents, stuff like that.
Yep.
It gives good context for when we're in a conversation that you can see that that person is just seeing life based off the people that taught them it.
Mm-hmm.
So are they wrong? No, they're right from the way that they're looking at it.
Right.
So let's go back to this guy right here. Hand up. Let's go. Okay, you're doing right hand. Right hand, we're going to go counterclockwise. Bring it down. Bring it down. Now look down at it. Which way is it going? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Clockwise?
It's going clockwise.
Yeah.
But we were up here and we started counterclockwise.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got here and
Yeah.
it's going clockwise. Like, we're just looking at it from a different perspective.
Yep.
That's it. We're looking at the same thing. We never changed what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
We just went from here to here. And if we can get people to see the other perspective, we win. Like, that is it. That's how we bridge the gap from where they're looking at it, because we're looking at the same thing. We're just giving them perspective on how to get there.
Exactly. Yeah. And we talk to people too that will say, a lot of people online and, wherever we're doing, will talk about how they had this traumatic thing happen to them,
Mhm.
which is what shaped them now.
Right.
And I'll tell you, dude, my childhood was fucking phenomenal.
Right.
Parents were both there.
Right.
Well, again, after my parents were divorced, but dude, I
Right.
was 2.
Right.
So when my dad stepped in at 2, I didn't know
Right.
really that my parents were divorced. Like I didn't get it until I was like
Your brain
10.
just turned on. Right.
Like
Yeah.
then I was 10. I was like, and then I realized like, oh, this isn't normal.
Right.
Because I didn't know, but like nothing happened to me.
Right.
My mom was a radiologist, right? She's a radiology tech. My dad worked at Avis. We had what we needed. We had a nice house. We never went without. And I just learned the work ethic and the grind from them. Like
Right.
I didn't have to be broke
Right.
to figure it out. I became broke myself.
Right.
Like I became an adult and was like, didn't know how to use debt and credit
Right.
and fucked up and didn't
Right.
know because I wasn't. Not to my parents' fault. They
Right.
just didn't teach us that stuff.
Right.
And then all of a sudden now I'm going through this and it's like, okay, change that for Liam.
Right.
He doesn't have to go through something that I did
Right.
to be me and to have the work ethic I do. I will
Right.
just teach the work ethic
Right.
and make sure he understands it, right?
That's the coaching piece right
Correct.
there. It's like you got to learn the other side of the tracks
Right.
for a reason. Like you got to see both sides. Like you win.
Yep.
You already win. You know what to do and what not to do.
Yep.
Like by default, your life is the way it is. So that way you could be the person that you need to be now for the future, for
Yep.
Liam, and more. Like, why are you in a position that you are in leadership? Leaders
Mhm.
lead. That's it.
Yep.
Part of the piece of us building humanity, building anything that's worth living for, is so that way we can teach people things. That is it. And we have to continue to do the hard shit, get stuck in adversity, and just get better.
Mhm.
It goes. We get better, not bitter.
That's it, dude. That's it, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why Jon Haas is continuously attracted in my life back and forth, because the conversations that we have, like hearing him speak, me speaking out loud, opens up a gateway in my mind. And if you didn't learn anything from this, know this now. It is your job to take responsibility of your life. It is your job to lead yourself in your life. You are in charge of you. This is why you're on the Master of Me podcast right now, because I and Jon, I'm the master of me. Jon is the master of him. I don't get to dictate his life. He has to take control. Everything that he shared today comes from his life lessons, so that way he can now be in his commission role, be the leader of his family, be the leader of his team, be the leader of his clients, the people that come into his life and put trust into him. That is why things happen for you and not to you. I'm going to say that again. Things happen for you and not to you. The moment that you see that that was the life lesson that you needed to learn is when you can start using it for yourself when the opportunity comes up again, and for others when the opportunity shows up. Jonathan Haas, thank you for fucking being here today.
Thanks, brother.